In this episode, we're going to take a look back at Formula One racing driver David Coulthard and the times he tested the performance limits of a Formula One racing car. From desert heat to donuts on a hotel helipad 200 metres above the Dubai skyline, he has pushed the boundaries of what you can do when you take an F1 car off the track. David Coulthard had a successful career in Formula One, racking up 13 wins and 62 podiums over 15 seasons. Driving for Red Bull Racing between 2005 and 2008, DC was responsible for the team's very first podium. Not content with winning races though, this petrolhead loved breaking through the pit wall and taking his Formula One car out onto the open road, and sometimes going even further than that in a quest to test the limits of what a race car can do off track.
I like getting involved in anything that's sort of pushing the boundaries, and that's very much part of what Red Bull stand for.
An F1 car is the ultimate of the racing world. One of the most precisely engineered and tuned vehicles on the planet, built for extremes. Where better to test the limits than by tearing through the dirt roads of the roasting Texas outback. Drivers have to harness over 900 horsepower at over 15,000 revs per minute, resulting in speeds of well over 200 miles an hour. Harnessing all that power requires strong and reliable tyres. The only way to test these properly is by doing what all good drivers do best: donuts. David finished off his Texas road trip by doing a lap at the Circuit of the Americas before it even laid the tarmac. Being the first driver ever to take an F1 car around this track was surely worth a podium of some sort. DC would just have to wait until they had finished it. As if the dusty trails of Texas aren't extreme enough, David took things further by upping the ante and heading out into the searing heat of Jordan. Inspired by ancient Roman ruins that have withstood the test of time, David and the race team tested their car once again, pitting their machine against the dust and 45-degree heat of the Jordanian desert. Running in this kind of heat, DC needed to keep his speed up to help keep the engine temperature down. Whilst they may not be built for it, we've established that F1 cars can handle extreme conditions, including heat and dirt. So let's take it back onto the tarmac and out into the city streets of Cape Town, South Africa. A Formula One car being driven by David Coulthard isn't something you'll usually find waiting under a red light in the centre of town. But if you do, you may as well take the opportunity to race it.
I pull up at the robot. I'm expecting to see a small city car from 1987. The next thing I look is a Formula One car. But you know what Cape Town City is for me? It's my personal racetrack, my friend. It's my personal racetrack. So what I'm going to say, you pull up next to me, you want to take a chance. Good luck, my friend.
My money, it's on the taxi driver.
Well, today was an opportunity to really discover a little bit of downtown Cape Town in a Formula One car, which is really special. And we sort of come to this iconic finish on the two roads that go to nowhere.
With DC pushing his car's astonishing performance everywhere from the desert to the city streets, it was time to put his own limits to the test and take danger to the next level. Floor 56 to be precise. Welcome to Dubai, home to some of the world's tallest skyscrapers and some of the most recognisable buildings on the planet. One of the most famous is this, the luxurious Burj Al Arab hotel.
When the team first told me they had this idea to put the car on top of the helipad at the Burj Al Arab, then of course I thought, why not?
The hotel helipad sits 689 feet above the waterline and is only 24 metres wide. The perfect place to test a 200-mile-an-hour race car then.
We had some test runs, of course, to make sure that we could control the car within this tight area. Safety and everything was going to be absolutely within acceptable limits.
But how do you get a Formula One car onto a helipad on top of a building? Well, that's obvious. You use a helicopter. Remember that an F1 car can accelerate to 60 miles an hour in less than 2 seconds. So one wrong move would send the car over the edge and falling 210 metres into the Persian Gulf. We do love the smell of donuts in the morning. So there you have it. David Coulthard showed us exactly what a Formula One car can do in some of the most extreme locations. Dubai, donuts, done.